all of you for coming today. This is actually an amazing turnout, and we're so proud to have so many of you think of Memorial Day and spend a few moments today with us. I'm honored to be here as part of this today to pay our respects to those who gave their lives for all of us. National cemeteries across our country are filled with Americans who rest there. Each stone marker signifies the cost of our blessings in this country. The graves belong to young Americans, those who never lived to be honored as veterans for their service, men who battled their own brothers in Civil War, those who fought as a band of brothers an ocean away, men and women who now define heroism for a new generation. Those who rest in those cemeteries didn't speak the loudest about their patriotism. They let their actions do that. Whether they stood up in times of war, signed up in times of peace, or were called up by a draft board, they embodied the best of America. For us, the living, those of us who still have a voice, it's our responsibility, our obligation, to fill the silence they left behind with our love and our support and our gratitude. And not just with our words, but with our actions.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hi, I'm Debbie Davidoff. Memorial Day was originally known as Decoration Day. It was first observed on May 30th in 1868 when the Grand Army of the Republic, an organization of Union veterans founded in Decatur, Illinois, established it as a time for the nation to decorate the graves of the Union War dead with flowers. That tradition persisted, and every May 30th, people would decorate the grave sites of those who had given their life in the service of their country in the time of war. By the 20th century, competing Union and Confederate holiday traditions celebrated on different days had merged, and Decoration Day eventually extended to honor all Americans who died while in the military service. In 1971, Congress designated the day a national holiday to be observed on the last Monday in May. And this is the total number of deaths in the different battles that we fought. World War I, 161,516. World War II, 405,399. Korean War, 36,574. Vietnam conflict, 58,220. The Persian Gulf War, 1,947. Operation Enduring Freedom, 2,346. Operation Iraqi Freedom, 4,411. Operation New Dawn, 73. And last but not least, total Coast Guard casualties. World War I, 111. World War II, 574. None in the Korean War. Vietnam, 7, and 1 in Operation Iraqi Freedom. We have close to 300 homes in here, and we have the names of 6 veterans. That's 1 in 50 homes died during one of these wars. We're lucky. There could have been a lot more.
Thank you. My name is Tom Smith. I didn't know Debbie was going to have those statistics, but I couldn't help stand there and think that there's a multiplier. That there are many extended family and friends, so you can multiply that number by astronomical. Anyway, I just want to read 2 brief commemorative readings, and I again thank the community. This is very gratifying. This is an excerpt from a poem called The Fallen, and it says, "But they shall not grow old, as we who are left grow old. Age will not weary them, nor the years condemn. But at the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them." This last one is particularly poignant to me because the author is a gentleman named Major Michael O'Donnell, and he was a helicopter pilot. And within 90 days of writing this poem, he himself died. He was shot down trying to rescue some of his comrades. It says, "If you are able, save from them a place inside of you, and save one backward glance when you are leaving for the places they can no longer go. Be not ashamed to say you love them, though you may or may not have always. Take what they have left and what they have taught you with their dying, and keep it with your own. And in that time when men decide and feel safe to call the war insane, take one moment to embrace those gentle heroes you left behind." If you notice the flag, in honor and memory of all those who gave their last full measure of devotion to our country, you'll notice the flag has been lowered to half staff. At noon, the flag will be raised to full staff. The half-staff position remembers the more than 1 million men and women who gave their lives in service to their country. At noon, their memory is raised by the living, who resolve not to let their sacrifice be in vain. But to rise up in their stead and continue the fight for liberty and justice for all. As was mentioned earlier, we do have some special remembrance. We remember all those who gave, but we have some members of the community that have specific people that they'd like to remember.
The first on the list is Dan Mikan.
Charles Burkhart, and I remember him because I was in grade school with his younger brother, and the day before he left for Vietnam, he walked around the Catholic grade school to every class, and I believe it was in his dress blues. Tom looked up his name, and he passed away, or he died in Vietnam 3 weeks after getting there. I still remember his face.
Our next resident is William Hardy.
Hi, my cousin Charles Chip Hardy was killed in Vietnam, 1967. Later, about 2 weeks.
Next is Mary Jo Pistaki.
Hi, my brother Richard Capshaw was in Vietnam. After 2 months, he lost his life. He was my best friend, and he still is my best friend. I think of all the happy things, and if I could just share one short story. When we were kids, we would walk down to the grocery store and get a 10-cent box of Jiffy ice, and we would make the icing and eat the whole box. And I just think how happy he would be to know you could just buy it in a can today. So those are my happy stories for him, but he was my best friend.
Tom Smith?
On this day, I remember a lot of people, but I especially remember Sergeant Charles Calkin, United States Marine Corps, who died on July 1st, 1968. And I would not be here today were it not for the selfless, courageous actions of that individual. And I'll never forget that, nor should I.
Robert Reagan?
My uncle was a second lieutenant and died in World War II. He was in the infantry, and I never knew him because I was 2 years old when he died. But he made the ultimate sacrifice, and I'll always remember him.
Nate Zimmerman?
Robert Zimmerman, my brother, he was in the Navy Air Force in World War II. That's always my hero.
We're going to now have a moment of silence followed by the sound of taps.